So, going into this map, it's going to be Akalon Waste once more. SlimShady versus KillJoy from the clan SNVCTA. Now, SNVCTA is a clan that was actually made by the fans. If you don't know, SNVCTA does sort through the replays for Bronze League heroes. Alright. I shall do the introductions. Spawning in the bottom right corner. From the clan SNVCTA. He is the Red Zerg. He is not the underdog. I believe he is in gold. He goes by the name of KillJoy. And spawning in the top left corner. Pretty famous rapper, if I do say so myself. Just completed his album as he queued into this game. He is spawning as the Orange Terran. He goes by the name of SlimShady. Alright, so we're going to have a little TVZ action on Akalon Wastes. KillJoy is in gold, mind you, and SlimShady is in silver. So, one league difference, but it's not too big of a difference, I would say. I still give pretty good chances to both of the players to win this game.
No, there really isn't much of a difference here, and it really is going to come down to, I believe, the early game. ZVT is really all about that early game. If KillJoy can get those bases up, is really what it is against SlimShady. But then again, if SlimShady can put pressure, then that's going to give him a little bit of an advantage. We'll have to see how this goes going into this. I've seen a lot of interesting ZVT and a lot of interesting TVZ builds over the course of tournaments that I have casted in the past.
Yeah, for sure. And I see that he's going to be going for his barracks first without a gas, so we're not going to see a Reaper, at least an early Reaper. I'm wondering if he's going to go for an expansion or drop another Rax and do a little bit of pressure. But only time will tell. It looks like KillJoy is actually going to be doing the pretty standard Zerg opening with an extra drone, actually. So it's 16 as he puts down his hatchery. Usually you put it down on 15, but hey, sometimes you can get a few extra drones before you actually put down that hatchery.
Well, you know, it kind of reminds me of something that somebody said towards the end of Wings of Liberty, where they were pointing out where Zerg is actually trying to push that envelope as far as they can, more and more as time goes on, trying to get that hatchery just a little bit later, more economic. But it does look like from SlimShady, he is just now going to get his gas, which is a little late, I feel like, for this matchup. Maybe he's planning on expanding a little early, actually.
Yeah, I'm wondering what he decides to do with this. Yeah, like you were saying too, I feel like getting the earlier drones allows you to get a better economy, but getting the hatchery up first allows you to get creep so that, say, bunker rushes were coming or any type of early pressure, you'd be able to get a spine crawler. But it seems like bunker rushes are not as popular anymore, as the Reaper opening seems to be the most popular, or even the Hellion opening, so it's not as big of a deal. And I feel like KillJoy's just going to be perfectly fine. His drone is just chilling on the bottom of the natural ramp. Gonna say hi to SlimShady's SCV as it does pass. But we do see another barracks coming down for SlimShady. And the gas is being mined by KillJoy. Probably gonna get that speed as soon as the 100 gas has been mined, but we'll see exactly what he decides to do with this game. You never really know until, you know, about the 6.5 minute mark or so. And it usually is a reaction from what the Terran is doing. So we'll see if SlimShady decides to get aggressive or expand.
Now this is actually a really interesting build out of SlimShady. We have two barracks that did go down, and now a factory that's going down here. This is really unique, I feel like. He could do some things off this. Maybe he'll put a tech lab or a reactor core on the barracks and swap it out with the factory to go for some early Hellion. Or maybe he'll go for something like a Marine Marauder Hellion push or something. I'm not quite sure. But this is very interesting, seeing two barracks before the factory.
Yeah, for sure. Especially if he's not going to be pressuring with them. So he's going to lower the depots, and I think he's going to do a little bit of a Marine push here. He got a tech lab on one of his barracks, so we'll see exactly what upgrade he decides to get. One queen and a spine crawler should be able to ward these Marines off, though. Usually even two queens can handle that, but the spine crawler will definitely make it even easier. So we'll see exactly how much damage these Marines can do, or if they will even force any units out of KillJoy. I wonder, because sometimes Zergs do overreact, and even just the presence of the Marines and forcing the units is a win in itself. So, a starport is going down for SlimShady, and he's getting a reactor on that factory, so he's going to probably pump out some Hellions, or maybe he's going to make Widowmines out of it and then put them into the medevac and try to drop them on. But we do see the Marines coming up. He's just going to skip the natural and go into the base.
All right. Wow.
Got these Rambo Marines.
This is crazy. He is going to be able to do some damage here to the mineral line. 2 drones going down right off the bat, putting KillJoy on 1 drone on gas for the time
That
being.
positioning though too.
That's a really nice positioning here, but looks like the Lings might clean this up.
Yeah, I feel like the position that he was in behind the spawning pool, and if he just kind of held position there, he would have been in a much better position. But he's actually taking hits from these Lings as he tries to do a little bit of stutter step micro. Oh, the last Marine's gonna die, but another Marine's gonna come in. Uh-oh. This is like the Rambo that he got left behind. He's like, wait a minute, I want to be Rambo too. Rambo's neglected 6th clone, unfortunately, but he's gonna get left behind and die. Not too much damage was done with that, as if he had just kind of sat back and shot, could have got a lot more drone kills with that attack.
Well, he was able to force quite a few Lings into production here. He did manage to pull those drones off the mineral line for a while and get 3 drone kills himself. It wasn't a complete loss in SlimShady's favor, really.
Yeah, but he looks like he's going to be getting aggressive. He's going to be making medevacs, actually. That reactor that he put on the factory was only to swap over to the starport, but he still hasn't expanded yet, so this is a big thing. The longer this goes on, definitely, KillJoy is going to have the advantage here. But if SlimShady can get a bunch of forces and kind of hit KillJoy before he actually has a lot of units, or even letting his economy go, the SEV difference, well, the worker difference is 27 to 37. This went up to 45 actually. So, if these workers are able to mine of KillJoy for a long time, you're gonna see the supplies start to go into KillJoy's favor pretty rapidly.
Oh, we do have a medevac that did pick up. It has 3 Marauders, 2 Marines in it, on its way right now to KillJoy's main. But KillJoy's drone here, sitting right outside of SlimShady's base, was able to spot it.
Hero drone, I told you, the one that was just chilling at the natural. I'm wondering if he's contemplating on taking a hatchery at SlimShady's natural. It's like, if you're not gonna take it, I'm gonna take it. God damn it! But
hey, man, I would do that.
Hell yeah! So he's gonna go and boost into the main. Let's see if he can get any damage done. Will he drop before he gets onto the creep and run in? Stim is about. Oh, it's really close to being done. He should wait until it finishes, but he's gonna go in right before. Get into a nice position and just start shooting.
Link that Marauder!
Ooh, poor Marauder.
No, that Marauder! Oh, that Marauder was left behind.
Look at that. Leave no man behind. It was not honored today, unfortunately. But the supply difference is starting to go into KillJoy's favor, 82 to 54. And if you look specifically, it's the army supply of 37 to 28. Even the work is 44 to 28. I feel like SlimShady has to make something happen. He is getting his command center though. So he's finally going to expand right now. Keep in mind that both of these players, gold and silver, KillJoy is the gold player, and SlimShady is the silver player. So, getting that medevac out of there is important. He only lost 2 units. Well, 1 unit, rather. It was the Marauder. And I feel like once he gets this expansion going, if KillJoy doesn't take his 3rd shortly afterwards, then this game could actually go quite into the late game. But SlimShady's minerals are getting pretty high here. He needs to put down just a few more barracks so that he can pump out more Marines. Because it does look like Bio is the style of play he decides to go for.
In response to that, definitely KillJoy is getting out quite a few Banelings as part of his army composition, which I completely agree with, honestly, because he has seen that drop. He did see that his opponent had... he saw the Marauders, he saw the Marines, of course, and he saw the medevac, so he knows right now that his opponent is going Bio. And this is where it looks like he is going to put some pressure with this army.
Yep. And that drone is... Oh, no, that's actually a Ling in the natural. I think the drone actually went home. Finally goes home. Realizes this is not his territory. But with these rolling Banelings, I think this force of SlimShady is... Oh, if he gets his Widow Mine down, it'll be able to probably kill all of the Lings that come up. Maybe even get a Baneling hit. But this is actually might be the most perfect timed mine of all time. If the Banelings do connect with SlimShady's force, they're mainly Marines, so they're going to melt pretty easily. However, you got to be careful for the Roaches, as they are pretty good against Marines. But there's a death for 3 Marauders that are mixed in with this army.
Oh,
Overseer's gonna take the Widowmine shot.
Oh, and right now is KillJoy's chance to start running in with this army. He can do something, and that's exactly what he's going to do. The Lings are running in first, the Banelings are coming, and looks like SlimShady's wanting to avoid those as much as possible.
did do a pretty good job with the Marauders taking a lot of the Baneling hit. He's actually going to pick up and just forfeit this position. This one Widow Mine is actually still in the natural, though. I feel like he needs to borrow it really quickly, or at least get it picked up by the medevac, but it is going to go down. So SlimShady is probably in panic mode right now. Wasn't able to secure his expansion. And that Hero Overseer, oh, did it actually? Oh no, the Overseer will see that Widow Mine. So that Hero Overseer was able to soak up the Widow Mine shot, and then, but I was pretty impressed by those Marauders taking the Baneling hits. However, these roaches are still a force to be reckoned with, and I feel like KillJoy is actually out for blood right now. He's actually going to get warded away by that Widow Mine and the Marauders that were throwing bullets from their guns at him from above.
Hey man, you gotta do anything you can to protect your base.
Yeah.
But right now, I have to say SlimShady is not in a comfortable position at all.
Nope. I think he's in a real uncomfortable position. Looks like he's trying to record a country album instead of a rap. He's out of his comfort zone. And these Lings are actually going to come in. And I feel like he's going to make a few Banelings out to try to bust the front. But I feel like SlimShady, KillJoy is going to need to make that Hero Overseer go up and soak up that Widow Mine again. And he's sitting on a lot of minerals. He is taking his third. His upgrades are pretty good, I believe. 1-1 for his melee. Oh no! SlimShady might be overstepping his boundaries. He might be all luring up those units into that Widow Mine, though.
It looks like two Lings might get this. No, it looks like the Roaches are going to soak up the shot now. So this is KillJoy's time.
Wow. Nice move by SlimShady there. All the Banelings are gone, though. And SlimShady might be able to actually hold this. He definitely has enough units. Yeah, the Roaches are going to fight, but they're not long in this world.
That was brilliant from SlimShady. Using that Marauder to soak up all of those Banelings. That was like a ZVZ move right there.
He's just like, I got this. No, freedom. The Braveheart Marauder runs forward and tanks about, what was it, maybe 5 Banelings? Without even getting any splash damage on SlimShady's Marines.
It was quite a bit, and that's actually going to give SlimShady a chance here to come back into this game. He was behind all that time, but now he finally has his window of opportunity to start working his way up back into this game, as he's going to load up all of these medevacs.
Indeed he will, but one Marine's like, yo, wait for me. Yo, bro, come on, guys. There's actually space in the other medevac, but dang, SlimShady just leaves all of his, at least he always leaves one behind. It's never two. Only leave one behind, but this Ling is actually going to spot these dropships going if he is looking at his mini-map. But these Roaches are going to kill those rocks in order to try to ward off this drop, and KillJoy is definitely ready for this. If he boosts into the main, though, he might be able to get an unload here before the Lings are actually going to make it, but the Roaches are ready. If he can get a stim, though, and it looks like he is, SlimShady is actually clawing his way back into this game, killing all of these Roaches. And if he can get into the main, he's going to be able to go ahead and kill a bunch of drones, maybe snipe off some tech. There is not enough Lings, especially with this position and the medevacs healing all of these units.
Oh, this is absolutely brilliant from SlimShady. Now he's going to be able to get more kills. He's going to go right for that Baneling nest, say, hey, I know that you are making Banelings and I don't like that, so I'm going to stop you. Taking out the Queen and going now.
He's going to focus the Hive. I think he's going to focus the Hive, try to take it out, make sure that any kind of... I feel like let's see, if KillJoy decided to make any upgrades right now from the Hive, say 3-3 or an Ultralisk Cavern, he better get it started now because this Hive is about to go down. But that doesn't look like SlimShady is really concerned with the Hive.
No, he was attacking it for a little while there, but then decided to go after the Roach Warren, which was actually a really good idea. Limit the army that your opponent can make, and that makes your attack just that much more strong, or that much more powerful. Now we have a lot of Swarm
He's gonna need to stim. Oh no, I don't know. He might have to lift off, wait for the the Locust to go, and then go in. I don't think SlimShady should actually go. He should just wait, I think. Maybe even go and drop on top of the Swarm Host. But we do notice that SlimShady still, let's see how many workers he has. He's on 40 workers, 43 workers, so he has been making a bit of SCVs as this has all been going on. But he has a lot of units at home. If he had been rallying them to the front of KillJoy's base, he might have been able to end the game right there.
I don't know, he's done a lot of damage with that push. He completely devastated the main base of KillJoy, which really wasn't mining a whole lot, but it was the tech that he was able to take out that was so important there. Taking out the Roach Warren, taking out the spawning pool, taking out the Baneling nest, and now he has freedom to build up his army. And he also got a scout out,
Yeah.
a scout off. I'm sorry, on all the tech at the natural. So he's in a really good position right now.
Yeah, he is. However, KillJoy's minerals are pretty high, so if he lets these Ultralisks come out, he's mining a lot of gas. Once these Ultralisks pop, SlimShady's going to be in a pretty difficult position, just because his economy is not as good as KillJoy's. I feel like that drop could have done a lot more damage. Even though the Swarm Host came and defended the natural, he could have went back into the main, sniped the hive, maybe go to the third, because the Swarm Hosts, their weakness is the lack of mobility, so I believe him getting out of there might have been the wrong choice, and it might come back to haunt him, because all of these minerals are going to become units very, very soon. Well, the minerals of KillJoy, that is.
Now, one thing that I find very interesting here for SlimShady is that he is going for that +3 attack, but he hasn't put down an extra engineering bay, which he can definitely afford to grab that extra armor. He is wanting straight attack right now, which is a little interesting. Now, taking out the rocks here, it looks like he wants to take his third.
Yeah, and he's going to do another one of these Doom drops. You know, from dropping beats to dropping Zergs, man. SlimShady is on a roll. And I don't know if this drop is going to be as effective unless he goes to the third and then kind of picks up and then goes right into the main. It looks like the Swarm Hosts are at the natural. So this drop is actually going to be going to the fourth of KillJoy. Going to be spotted by that fourth. The Swarm Hosts are in perfect position. If he scans and can kill the Swarm Host though, oh man, there's really not that many locusts here. But the Ultralisks are coming in. He's going to pick right back up. I feel like he should try to go into the main, but oh, this is just not looking good. Once the Ultras come out, they already have their upgrade for the Carapace. Their chitinous plating, which gives him an additional 2 armor. And he didn't really do any damage there. Unfortunately, he's below in supply, below on bases, and even below in upgrades, I believe. I think that he was saying he was only opting to get one of the upgrades. He did manage to have another engineering bay to start his 1 armor. And his +3 attack is just about to finish, but this force of KillJoy is looking pretty scary right now. A lot of these Ultralisks and the Swarm Hosts, you use the Swarm Hosts to zone out the Marines and Marauders, and as soon as the Locusts die, you can come in with the Lings, and he actually won't make Banelings out of them because his Baneling nest got sniped and he never remade it.
Oh, looks like some mutas are going to come in here and threaten this small ball of Medivacs carrying troops, but the Medivac's going to drop some Marines and force those away. Of course, he was able to snipe off one of the Medivacs with 3 mutas, not lose a single one.
Yeah, and it looks like KillJoy is about to be maxed right now. 186 supply, a bit supply blocked, but there are 8 Overlords on the way, and there will probably be some more Ultralisks to be filling that slot as soon as it is open. But SlimShady is in a weird position right now. He doesn't really have the economy to really contest with KillJoy, and his army composition is just pretty amazing, especially against Bio. I would like to see a few Infestors maybe get mixed into this, because if you can hold up that Bio in place and then the Ultralisks come and the Lings surround, you can do a lot of damage before they even do any damage, and there will be no kiting available. So he's already maxed though, so there will be no Infestors being added. I feel like the Infestors are like the red-headed stepchild of Heart of the Swarm. Just because they got nerfed a bit, it seems like people don't use it as much, but we did see Suppy in that WCS game with the Hero Ultralisk. I feel like the Infestors are a pretty big integral unit to this Zerg composition. But he decides to use Swarm Host instead.
Yeah, well, the Swarm Hosts are actually going to work quite well for him, because right now he's got them in a pretty good position. He has his army here, so if SlimShady decides to go in on the Swarm Hosts, he's going to have to face all of those Ultralisks, and that is a scary, scary thing. So these Swarm Hosts pretty much have a really good, secure, safe position to just bombard with. And here goes SlimShady going to run down and try and deal with this. The Ultralisk going to run in, and that is not good for SlimShady as he's going to try and pull back.
Nah, it's not good for SlimShady at all. More Banelings are actually going to be rolling in. Swarm Hosts are continuing to shoot the Locusts out. And this is mainly Marauders, so the Banelings won't be that effective. But the Ultralisks are so good against Marauders if they can get into melee range. I don't know. I don't think that SlimShady is going to be able to hold this one. More Banelings exploding on Marauders.
It doesn't look like SlimShady is, and it looks like these Ultralisks are going to clean up everything, not just the army, but the base as well, cutting down tech, cutting down any any hopes of SlimShady building a defense.
That is probably going to be the end of the game. There are Swarm hosts assaulting the natural of SlimShady, and a GG, well played, is called from Marshall Mathers himself. Game 1 goes to KillJoy.
Oof.
Oof. Man, I feel like SlimShady, he had a chance there. There was a ray of hope when he got that sick drop in the main. If he had sniped the Hive and just kept KillJoy on his toes, he could have definitely done a lot more and possibly clawed his way back into that game.
That was absolutely amazing play from both players. SlimShady being able to pull off that drop was just so significant, but in the end, he just didn't have anything to follow it up with. But we'll have to see what happens in game number 2. Who's going to take it? Who is going to win? Are we going to have SlimShady bringing this into a 1-1, bringing this into 3... sorry, I can't even speak
it's
here.
All good.
Bringing this into game number 3, or are we going to have a 2-0 kill here?
Yeah.
For KillJoy.
Not exactly sure. I like that pressure. SlimShady does seem to like that aggressive play. He loves his drops, and he loves leaving one unit behind. Perhaps if he just expands a little bit earlier, or maybe do a little bit more damage with his early play, he can. He was in a position to take this game. So keep in mind that SlimShady is in Silver League and KillJoy is in Gold. So it's pretty impressive to see SlimShady making it such a